Hi, One You Know Beer, how are you? Fourth video. I'm 1,000 days on Sunday. I can't work backwards, so there's only a few days left. So yes, I hope you're all well. So I got to catch up on a few of yesterday's comments, but it is lovely to see now everybody is so different, and that's what you've got to bear in mind. You're not trying to follow anybody, you're not trying to replicate anybody, you do you. Now this subject that I'm going to talk about could be quite controversial, so this is just my opinion, my experience, not trying to piss anybody off, but you've just got to remember it is your experience and nobody else's. And if you feel any angst by what other people are saying, it's not usually them that are creating the angst, it's something inside of you. So that's all I'm saying. So if anything I say triggers you, just maybe ask why, or because I'm not judging anybody. Now, this is a 1 year no beer, and I signed up to 30-day alcohol-free challenge. So I didn't drink, and then I did 90, and then I did 365, and then I cannot actually believe that I just decided I didn't want to drink anymore. Sort of, I'll never say never. I'm not at the stage yet that Andy is. I might never be, but I've never wanted it enough. Now, when I was heavily involved in the group, and I see, because I still see it occasionally, because sometimes I get tagged in the group and I'll go up, and if I've got a spare 10 minutes, I'll have a quick look through. And it is the same old argument. It's when I used to train for an Ironman, people used to have the same old argument about born survivors and that Spartans and that type of thing against Ironman. It's the same old argument, and you get it in this 1 year no beer. What happens if you drink in a challenge? Do you reset? Is it a blip? What is it? It's your choice, in my opinion. It is your choice what you do. If you want to reset, reset. If you don't want to reset, don't reset. If you want to knock the days off at the end, knock the days off at the end. What I do, what I would do, and what I have done with, well, I didn't need to do it because I didn't have a drink, and not on purpose anyway, but I'll tell you about that one tomorrow. Oh, that's a story. Well, it's not really, but my opinion and my experience, I wanted to do an alcohol-free challenge, so I didn't drink. And if I'd have drunk, I truly believe I would reset, because I wanted to do it perfectly in my head. You know, I didn't want to drink. So if I wouldn't call it a blip, I'd call it, oh, I've had a drink, I've got to start again. But that is my opinion. So I know there's lots of people, even on the comments I can see, oh yeah, I'm this many days and I've had 3 blips, but you know, and that's fine. Because what you've got to remember, because, you know, don't let anybody else's pressure put you off, you know, but you've got to be really happy with what you're doing. Now, this is an alcohol-free challenge, but surely the aim of it is to reduce your alcohol intake. You know, I wanted to completely stop while I was doing the challenge. But if you're feeling bad that you've had blips, say you've had 3 blips over, you know, 60 days, you've got to look at the fact that if you were drinking 5 days a week, over a period of 60 days, you've only drunk for 3. So how can that not be a win? How can it not be a win? But in my mind, I would have to start again from when I last had a drink and then do my 30 days, 90 days. But that's just my opinion, you know. And so what I'm saying is, and I know people, because I know there's some people from my community who've come into 1 year no beer. One lady in particular, I won't name her. And I remember I think she started in January, doing really well. And then she had a couple of drinks in May and June time. Not a lot, didn't have a lot at all. So she did the year from the January, but she said to me, Sally, it just doesn't feel right. I want to do a 1 year no beer. So then she continued to do those other 3 months again. And then she said she truly felt she'd done a year, but that was her, you know. So I know it's a very controversial subject. It's an alcohol-free challenge, so you don't drink. But do you know what? You've got to see what you're doing for you. And if that's, you've had 4 or 5 drinks in the year, then what is still a massive result? God, if I'd have had 4 or 5 drinks in the year, that's a huge, if I'd have had 4 or 5 drinks in a week, it would have been a huge result. But for me, I didn't want to drink. Now, I'll actually, let's have a look. Oh, I'll actually tell you what I was going to tell you tomorrow, because I don't want to witter on about that too much, but it's sort of the elephant in the room. You know, people say, oh, what's your opinion on it? And that is my opinion on it, is that if I drank, I would reset. Absolutely no question for me. Okay, but if you're feeling bad about it, just acknowledge how well you're doing you know, because I know loads of people keep resetting, but you know, how, if you've done 60 days and you've drunk for 4, it's still a huge win. So it's entirely up to you. But there was a time, I was 8 months in, and I hadn't had a sip, not a taste, not a sip, nothing. And I went to Calcan with my mum, and this is why I love this community. And we went out, we used to go out every night, went to this bar before we went out for a meal, and I'd have a tonic water, mum would have a gin and tonic, and for some reason they bought us 2 gin and tonics one time. And I'd been doing a bit of comments in my community, and I'd just been doing a few while mum was phoning my dad. And so then we had to quite rush the drinks because we had to get off for our meal. So I downed half my gin and tonic, doing them in tall glasses. And I went, oh gosh. And I could taste the alcohol. It tasted like paint strip. And oh my God, there's alcohol in that. And yeah, and got the waiter over, says, yeah, 2 gin and tonic. Said it was a tonic water. He goes, oh, it's all right, I'll get you a new one. I said, no, it is not all right. And oh my God, I had the biggest fit. I mean, people watching, it must have been disproportionately ridiculous. My mum actually says, for God's sake, Sally, calm down. I will not fucking calm down. I said, I've had a drink, they've made me drink. You know, they've made me drink alcohol, and I didn't want alcohol. It's a 1 year no beer challenge. It's not a 1 year no beer apart from that little bit adding Calcan by accident, you know, sort of challenge. And I was livid, but then I was so upset and I ran away. I ran out. I was in tears, crying, and I ran off up the street and I sat on a bench crying. I think I'd been attacked and robbed or something. People walking past, you all right, love? And mum comes up, yeah, she's just had a drink. They were looking at me as if, yeah, she's been drinking. Oh, right, okay, sorry. And I'm like, you know, because I had literally half a measure of gin, and they'd have thought I'd have been reeling, pissed, steaming. And it was for I'd had a drink, yes, but I felt it ruined my challenge. But do you know what? It all works out. It really does. And we got the little free bus home to the hotel. Mum stayed downstairs in the bar. I came straight up to my bedroom, and I just did a video on 1 year no beer, and I posted it, and it was just, I was sobbing, crying. I've had a drink and I feel, do I have to reset? I don't want to reset because it's been 8 months. And obviously the consensus, you don't reset because it's a complete accident. Because I know it's happened before. I get tagged when it happens. One time Rory tagged me, other times other people tagged me. Oh, this happened to Sally Wilkinson. Absolutely no way was I going to reset. It was a complete accidental drink. It's when you do it, I'd only reset when I go, oh, do you know what? We're at a 50th wedding or a golden wedding or at a wedding. I'm going to have a toast. But do you know what? It doesn't mean anything. So, and it's not even a blip because it's mindful. And that, to me, all that is just listening to your own bullshit excuses. In my opinion, it really is, honestly. And so I didn't reset. But do you know what it did for me? Because I could have, somebody said, well, did you not just think, oh, sod it and then carry on for the night? Oh my God, no. I hadn't realised over the 8 months that I'd built up this alcohol-free suit of armour. And it felt bloody good. It really did, even though I was devastated. The next day, I had this newfound, I felt like I'd changed into Superwoman overnight. I had this newfound belief for it. Oh my God, I am going to do this year because I'm devastated. It was like, you know, when you have a dream and you've been drinking, you've got pissed in your dream, you wake up and think, oh my God, thank God for that. And that does the same sort of thing. That this was real life, but it was only a little drink, I hadn't got hammered. And it showed how important it was to me, how important it had become to me. But do you know what? That didn't happen overnight. That happened because all those times that I really wanted to drink, all the times I've been at a wedding and a funeral and a party and a 21st and a 40th birthday, and I thought, oh, I want to drink, oh, should I? No, I won't, because I'm on an alcohol-free challenge. It was all those times that I'd struggled. The time in, you know, if you watched yesterday's video, the time when I went to Padstow and I wanted to piss in those women's glasses because I desperately wanted to drink. That's what had built this resilience, this armour, this desire, this pride in myself. You don't get that by keep blipping, by keep listening to your own bollocky bullshit excuses or justifications, you know. And if it's not a justification, if you're just saying, do you know what, I just want to cut down, so I'm going to have a drink once a week. If you drink 7 times a week and you've gone down to 1, that is a bloody big win. But be honest with yourself. Don't say you're going to do a year's challenge and then, you know, drink 300 days of it and call it blips, in my opinion, because you're never going to get that suit of armour. You're never going to get that pride. You're never going to get, and that's what gives you the oomph to want to carry on doing it. You know, it's got to be shit sometimes. It's got to be hard sometimes, I feel, to really make the days, because do you know what? If it's hard and shit sometimes, some days it is going to be absolutely bloody brilliant. When you're on top of mountains, when you're at somebody's party and you wake up the next morning, you go out for a run and you see a sunrise at 5:30 on the 22nd of June, whenever it is, and you let that view into your heart and you just think, I didn't drink last night, I really wanted to, but I never. Oh my God. And do you know what? And you might do it sometimes and you think, I didn't even want to drink last night. And this is why, because this is what alcohol-free looks like, in the words of Andy Ramage. And it is the best feeling. But do you know what? You have to damn well earn that feeling. And if it was easy, you wouldn't be in 1 year no beer. You'd just be doing a challenge. You'd just stop drinking. End of. But it isn't easy, I don't think. It isn't easy. Sometimes it's horrifically hard, but it gets easier and easier and easier, but you have to earn it. So I'm not judging anybody. If I read comments, day one again, day one again, day one again. Do you know what? I'm shit at tech. I'm shit at bloody doing stuff in my business that's all techy and you need to do. I'm crap at it. You know, I get a bit impatient with simple stuff sometimes. We all have our shit, but I'm bloody good at not resetting because I didn't reset once. But that doesn't make me better than anybody else. We're all just good at different things. But please, all I'm asking you is if you know, if it's somebody's leaving the office and they've been there for 20 years and they're your best mate and they come round at night and they say, do you know what, I really want to drink this champagne. You don't have to drink for them ever. You don't ever have to drink for somebody else. If you're doing that, you are not owning your own excuses. You're really not. So if you want to drink with that person, have a drink with that person, but own it. Own it yourself and go, do you know what? I'm going to break my challenge. I'm going to, just for today, I'm going to add it on the end. I don't care what people say. I'm happy with that. That is fine. But don't say, oh, do you know what? Well, she came round and she made me do it. Because you're never going to get your suit of armour. You're never going to get your wear haze because you'll always have it in the back of your head, you know. So that's just my opinion. I don't want to piss anybody off. I really don't. The people who don't reset are no better humans than the people who reset 17 times. We're all just human, all just trying our best. We're all good at different things. But all I'm asking for you to really, really be aware of is, what are you saying when you have a blip? What are you really, truly saying to yourself? You know, there was a guy who posted on the post yesterday, great video at that time, considering it's his first alcohol-free weekend coming up, and I so get that. And I had to watch England play in the Six Nations, the most amazing match, drinking peppermint tea, and it was shit. Hated it. Hated every second of the match. Sat there like that, going, I hate this. Mad at myself that I put myself in this position. Why don't I just start next week? But no, I've started my challenge, so I'm going to do it. I could have said, oh, do you know what? I'll just have it today. I won't drink tomorrow. I'll just have it today, and I'll add it on the end, or I won't tell anybody, you know. So I didn't. I did it, and it was hard, and I hated it. And the Six Nations lasts about 4 weeks, and I hated it every weekend, but I did it, you know. And I truly believe if I'd have kept giving in, kept resetting, kept blipping, there's no way, probably, I'd be here now, I don't think. But because I would never have built that resilience. I'd have gone to Padstow and seen those women drinking, and I'd have had a drink because I'd have got used to justifying my actions. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so that was my one drink that I had. Now I will have a sip. I will have a sip. I literally, here's my water bottle. You know, if we're out or something, or I remember I went to Kendall Calling and daughter was having a raspberry cider and never had one before. I said, oh, let's have a sip of that. I'll go, literally just enough to cover my mouth. Oh, God, I'll do it for somebody's Prosecco sometimes. Not all the time. I would never have done that in the challenge, ever. But now, yeah, I'll just, and it reminds myself because, oh my God, it's vile. It is like drinking paint stripper. It truly is. It was just awful. It's a bit of a Simon was devastated. He used to love his beer, and now he just can't have it, but he loves his alcohol-free stuff. So anyway, 15 minutes again. 15 minutes of your life you won't get back, as Shazza says. I beg your pardon. So, sorry to say to me again. Well, I'm not really sorry. I'm not really bothered. This is how I often look in the morning. I've been for a quick run and done a 20-minute HIIT session. So hence the, yeah. It's not a hair channel, is it? I was doing a live video on the other morning in my car, and one of the people I don't know where she's come. She goes, "Your hair looks dry." Oh, thanks, love. That's nice here. It did make me chuckle. All right then. So I don't know why I'm telling you all that. I'm waffling now, so I'm going. So I'll try and do another one tomorrow, but just keep going. It's your journey. Hate the word and hate doing that. So there's double whammy. So don't feel judged by anybody else. If you're feeling judged by somebody else, if you're feeling judged, it usually means that there's something going on inside of you that you perhaps need to just address, or, you know, and there's no shame in it. So have a great day. Yeah, ta-ra.